Hello, are you ready to spend a few minutes of your precious time to discover a secret that could change your life forever? A life where anxiety, stress, and uncertainty are absent, replaced by peace, resilience, and focus. Stoicism, a philosophy that has been around for thousands of years, is the key to unlocking such a life. Imagine how you would feel if you were freed from unnecessary stress and lived a more fulfilling life. In modern society, it is inevitable that we will be caught up in the whirlwind of work, family, and responsibilities. The hustle and bustle of life often pushes us to the limit, causing us to forget what is truly important. But did you know that a philosophy that has been around for thousands of years can provide us with powerful tools to face the challenges of today? Stoicism, with its emphasis on wisdom, virtue, and self-control, helps us find inner peace and a more mindful approach to life. In the next minutes, we'll explore the core principles of Stoicism, from its philosophical origins to how the Stoics applied them to their lives. We'll go beyond the theory and learn how to put these lessons into practice. These strategies will help you develop clarity, mental strength, and find deep inner peace. By the end of this journey, you'll have the tools you need to transform the way you deal with adversity, so you can live a more meaningful and happier life. But before we get started, please do one small free thing: subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Every little thing you do is a great encouragement to me, and that is what Stoicism teaches: to be honest, kind, and true to your virtues. Feel free to comment, as it is a way to express your views on life. Let us know what you think. Let's get started. Now, imagine that you are faced with an important decision: to continue living as you are, or to choose to change your life by applying Stoic principles. Let's start this journey right now. Imagine a life where you control your reactions to every situation, where obstacles become opportunities for you to grow, and where inner peace becomes an integral part of your daily life. Let the journey of transformation begin. Have you ever wondered if your kindness is being taken advantage of? In modern society, we often get so caught up in pleasing others that we forget that taking care of ourselves is just as important. Stoicism teaches us to set healthy boundaries, ensuring that our kindness is not overused and that we do not lose ourselves in the process of helping others. Consider another story about two gardeners who lived next door to each other. The first gardener spent his days tending to his garden, making sure that every flower and plant was watered, pruned, and cared for properly. Whenever he had free time, he would help his neighbor. As a result, his garden blossomed with vibrant flowers and lush greenery. In contrast, the second gardener was so busy helping others that she forgot about her own garden. She neglected her plants, allowing them to wither and die. In the end, when she needed help, her garden was no longer healthy enough to provide fruit or shade for herself and those around her. This story is a powerful reminder that before helping others, we need to take care of ourselves first. Otherwise, we will be exhausted both mentally and physically, unable to help anyone else. Stoicism reminds us that kindness is only meaningful when it does not harm ourselves. To truly help others, we must first ensure that we have enough resources and energy. This not only helps us maintain balance in our lives, but also ensures that our kindness does not become a burden. We need to learn to set limits so that kindness does not turn into meaningless sacrifice. Generosity is a noble virtue, but it needs to be practiced in moderation. Stoicism teaches us that helping others should not come at the expense of our own health and inner peace. Ask yourself, are you putting yourself in a difficult position to help others? If the answer is yes, consider how you treat yourself. Modern life requires us to find a balance between caring for ourselves and helping others. Imagine a day when you could give without feeling exhausted, when you could help without being taken advantage of. That is the goal of Stoicism: finding balance in every aspect of life. In your daily life, look for moments when you can show kindness without expecting anything in return. Consider how you can ensure that your generosity is a source of joy, not a burden. Find a balance between helping others and caring for yourself so that you can live a happier and more fulfilled life. Stoicism teaches us not only about kindness and generosity, but also about protecting ourselves from unnecessary harm. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself, build your inner strength, and make sure that when you give, it is from a place of abundance, not from a place of exhaustion. When we set boundaries, we not only protect our mental health, but also gain respect from those around us. Remember that the word no can be a powerful reminder that you value yourself and expect respect from others. Adopt this mindset, and you will find that your kindness will no longer be abused, but instead it will become part of your own worth. Let's find a balance in life between kindness and self-respect, between generosity and self-preservation, so that our lives and those around us become better. Stoicism offers us valuable lessons on how to live a meaningful life, not only giving, but also knowing how to take care of ourselves. Where does self-control begin? It's about taking control of your own mind. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with opinions and judgments from outside, sometimes our minds get distracted by things that don't matter. But as Marcus Aurelius said, you have control over your mind, not over external events. What does this mean? It means that in any given situation, the power to decide how you will react is yours and yours alone. Have you ever wondered why we care so much about what other people think, even more than the values and opinions we have built for ourselves? Sometimes we create a mental trap where we measure our self-worth by what others think of us. But imagine a world where criticism and unwanted judgments are just distant noises, unable to affect your inner self. It's not about building an invisible wall between you and society. It's about creating an inner space where your mind can grow, where your values and beliefs are nurtured by you, not by the judgment of others. On this path, you will need to be willing to let go of negative influences that distract you from your true self. Consider the story of a young artist. Despite his immense talent, he was haunted by the fear of judgment. Every piece of his work was filled with anxiety about what others would think, and this kept him from feeling satisfied with himself. But when he began to understand that his worth did not depend on the praise or criticism of others, his art began to reveal its true power. It became the truest reflection of his soul, no longer bound by fear or external judgment. This is a testament to the power of mastering your mind. Of course, this path is not easy. You will face external pressures, voices that invite you to return to the path of seeking approval from others. But remember that true freedom lies not in pleasing everyone, but in focusing on what you can control, your mind. Take the time to nurture your mind. Give it the space to grow without being influenced by the expectations of others. That is the foundation of freedom, and Stoic philosophy teaches us that true happiness lies in the ability to control your own mind. When you start to control your mind, life becomes easier. You will be less affected by what is happening outside, and this does not mean that you ignore challenges or difficulties. Instead, it means you choose to approach life with a more conscious, thoughtful, and wise approach. Think about the hardships you've gone through, the challenges that pushed you to your limits. These challenges are not obstacles, but opportunities for you to grow and become stronger. And most importantly, remember that mastering your mind will not only help you overcome challenges, but also help you build a strong mental resilience. This ability will help you stand firm against all the storms of life, like an old oak standing firm against the storm. As Lucius Annius Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor can a man be perfected without challenges." This is the truth of life, Challenges and difficulties are the tools that help us perfect ourselves, help us become the best version of ourselves. On this path, each of us will encounter our own difficulties, unforeseen obstacles. But remember, strength does not come from avoiding challenges, but from facing them with strength and resilience. Stoicism does not teach us to avoid or deny difficulties. Instead, it encourages us to see them as opportunities to grow, to build our resilience and resilience. This is how you can turn every challenge into a stepping stone to growth and success. And finally, focus on how you perceive things around you. In life, not all situations are easy, but what matters is how you perceive and react to them. Imagine a day when you have planned everything meticulously, but then an unexpected incident occurs and everything seems to be turned upside down. In such moments, don't just see the difficulty, but look for the opportunity. Epictetus, a famous Stoic philosopher, once said, "People are not disturbed by things themselves, but by the way they think about things." This means that the difference between feeling overwhelmed or seeing a challenge as an opportunity is entirely dependent on how you choose to perceive it. Perception is like a window into the world. It helps us understand what is happening around us, but it is important to remember that you have the power to change how you perceive the world. When life throws you difficult situations, it does not necessarily mean that you will be defeated. Instead, it can be an opportunity for you to learn, to develop new skills, or simply to understand yourself better. A concrete example: imagine you are preparing for an important presentation, but things do not go as planned. You can easily see it as a failure, or you can choose to see it as an opportunity to learn, to improve your skills for future tasks. This doesn't mean ignoring mistakes or failures, but rather realizing that they don't define you. Let those experiences enrich your soul, making you more resilient and flexible. Mastering your mind requires persistence and daily practice. Your perception is like a muscle. The more you practice controlling it, the stronger it will become, gradually turning into an automatic habit. Always ask yourself if those negative thoughts are really worth worrying about. Instead, try to replace them with positive perspectives that create a feeling of comfort and happiness over time. Once you start doing this process, it will become a natural part of your life, helping you master your mind effectively. The key lies in how you handle the challenges and setbacks in life. You can turn every problem into an opportunity for growth if you know how to use your mental lens, the power that allows you to see things differently. When faced with difficulties, imagine yourself as a warrior guided by the symbols of Stoic philosophy. Difficult times reveal the true nature of a person, as a popular saying in this philosophy says. Every mistake is not only a lesson, but also an opportunity to better control your mind. Have you ever felt like your inner compass was upset when you suddenly lost your job, lost a loved one, or were denied an important opportunity? Remember Marcus Aurelius. Life is nothing but a series of constant changes, and change is what nature desires. This is the fourth lesson on the journey to mastering the mind. Accept change as a part of nature. Uncertainty is not necessarily the enemy of peace. In fact, it provides an opportunity for you to grow and adapt. When you don't know what's going to happen, don't let fear control you. Instead, move forward with the understanding that change is an inevitable part of life. We can navigate the chaotic flow of life with peace if we are in harmony with the laws of nature. Do we curse the sky when it rains on a sunny day? No, because we know that everything happens according to the laws of nature, beyond our control. This is also how we should face the storms of life, accepting and adapting flexibly. True peace comes when we learn to embrace the flow of life and adjust ourselves to that flow, instead of trying to change the world to suit our personal needs. We need to learn to integrate with nature and life naturally and gracefully, without losing ourselves. Be self-disciplined, reflect on your life and see how it has changed. You may have encountered things that made you want to go astray, like wanting to watch a favorite show instead of studying, or overeating when you are trying to maintain a diet. Discipline helps protect your purpose in life, just as a skilled gardener tends a colorful flower bed. No matter how beautiful the roses are, they must also care for their tulips and sunflowers. Similarly, to nourish your mind, you need to pay attention to the temptations that try to lead you astray. Don't look at them with a harsh, judgmental eye, but see them as normal parts of life. Understanding what distracts you will make it easier to find ways to stop distractions. Just as a gardener who grows a variety of flowers needs to be able to deal with each distraction with unwavering determination. Self-discipline is the most important foundation for mastering the mind. When you feel like giving up, remember the words of Epictetus. Nothing great is ever accomplished with ease. Practicing self-discipline is a never-ending journey that requires constant attention and effort. Enjoy the present moment. Have you ever been so preoccupied with the past or worried about the future that you forgot to enjoy the present moment? Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do not let the prospects of life weigh you down. Focus on the present because it is the only thing you can control. Don't think about the chapters that have passed or the chapters that have yet to be written. Enjoy each moment of the present. Be intentional about immersing yourself in each moment, as if you were living a second time and wanting to avoid the mistakes of the first." Seneca once said, "Mastering your mind begins with mastering this moment." If you live by this philosophy, you will see how it can change you, making you mentally strong. Joining a support group can help you grow stronger. Marcus Aurelius said that people are made for each other, either to help them better themselves or to suffer them. Here's a key lesson in mastering your mind. Communities are places where you can learn and be supported. By working with people who share your goals, you will strengthen the collective power to move towards your goals. Instead of going it alone, consider working with people who share your goals. This will not only help you grow, but also help the group move forward. Uplifting communities are places where you can learn, inspire, and be inspired. Don't hesitate. Start joining interest groups now. Finally, don't forget that learning is a lifelong journey. Encouraging curiosity will help you expand your intellectual horizons, like a compass that guides you through the vast sea of information. When you are curious, you will always be searching for answers, learning and expanding your knowledge. Reading a variety of books will help you access the treasure trove of knowledge and expand your horizons. Maintaining a growth mindset will help you continue to learn and develop your intelligence, even when faced with challenges. To become smarter, you need to accept that failure is part of the path to success. Always think critically, listen actively, and don't be afraid to take on challenges. Live in the present, enjoy every moment, and collaborate with like-minded people to grow together. Life is a continuous journey, and your intelligence is the most powerful tool to help you overcome any difficulties. Use it intelligently and skillfully to master your life. Saturday, practice problem-solving skills. Problem-solving is an indispensable part of increasing intelligence and success in life. This process includes identifying challenges, finding possible solutions, and implementing effective plans to overcome difficulties. This requires you to be creative, patient, and willing to face risks. Looking at problems with a positive attitude and believing in your ability to overcome them will take you further. Imagine you are faced with a difficult problem at work. Your team is under pressure to complete a task in a very short time frame, and there seems to be no way out. Instead of getting discouraged, you decide to use your problem-solving skills to deal with it. You convene your team to brainstorm and come up with new ideas. Encourage everyone to look at the problem from different angles, and don't be afraid to try approaches that have never been tried before. Through collaboration and innovation, you are able to propose a clear action plan that uses resources efficiently to achieve the goal. As a result, the challenges are resolved and you complete the task on time. Developing problem-solving skills is not only a process of learning from mistakes, but also about being willing to change your approach and accept new feedback. You become more flexible, creative, and resilient in the face of challenges. As your problem-solving skills improve, you will feel more confident in tackling challenges and achieving your goals. Eighth, encourage creativity and new ideas. Creativity and innovation are the driving forces of intellectual growth and progress. To encourage creativity, you need to have an open mind, be willing to experiment and take risks. This means you must dare to step out of your comfort zone, abandon the limitations of conventional thinking to explore new ideas. Think of yourself as an artist creating a painting. Instead of following a familiar style, you decide to experiment with new materials and techniques. You abandon old concepts of art and let your imagination guide you. As a result, you find new ways of expression, and your work becomes a source of inspiration for others. To foster creativity, you need to create a supportive environment where everyone is encouraged to experiment and contribute their ideas. This collaboration and sharing not only helps you maximize your creative potential, but also brings positive changes to the community. Ninth, develop a passion for learning. Developing a passion for learning is one of the most important things to keep your mind sharp and constantly growing. This is not just about studying, but also about maintaining curiosity, eagerness, and motivation to explore new things. Imagine you are a student preparing for an exam. Instead of seeing studying as a daunting task, you approach it with excitement and joy. You look for new ways to learn, explore different perspectives, and apply knowledge in practice. As a result, you not only master the material, but also develop skills that are useful for later life. Learning is a journey, and if you are proactive in setting goals and seeking out opportunities to learn, this passion will become an integral part of your life. You will always seek to expand your knowledge, face challenges, and become more resilient in a changing world. 10th, surround yourself with people with different perspectives. To grow intellectually and personally, it is important to surround yourself with people with different perspectives. Seek out people with different experiences, backgrounds, and ways of thinking than you and learn from them. This will not only broaden your horizons, but will also help you understand yourself and the world around you better. Imagine you are working on a project with members from different cultures. Instead of sticking to your old ways of thinking and doing things, you decide to listen to and appreciate the different ideas and perspectives on the team. You encourage people to share their thoughts and come up with creative solutions together. Surrounding yourself with different perspectives not only helps you grow intellectually, but also fosters empathy and understanding. You become more perceptive, build stronger relationships, and contribute more to society. Lessons from Stoicism. Life is not always easy, and Stoicism teaches us how to face challenges with calmness and determination. The first thing Stoicism reminds us is that our perceptions shape our reality. When we take control of our thoughts and emotions, we can challenge the status quo and pave the way to greatness. We can choose to see challenges as insurmountable obstacles or as opportunities to grow and learn. With a Stoic mentality, every hardship is an opportunity to practice good qualities such as patience, resilience, and courage. This is the first step to overcoming mediocrity and becoming excellent. Let this be our call to action. Step out of the cycle of mediocrity, face challenges with courage and faith, and build a legacy that transcends the limitations of the past. Lesson 2. Build resilience through acceptance. Resilience is the power that helps you overcome life's challenges. According to Stoicism, learning to accept your fate is not only a great lesson in endurance, but also the key to breaking free from the cycle of mediocrity, frustration, and repetitive thoughts that hinder our progress. This philosophy reminds us that while we cannot control everything that happens, we can absolutely choose how we respond to it. The great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius taught that every event that happens is part of the rational order of the universe. He advises us to accept what fate brings, not with resignation, but with courage and equanimity. This acceptance is not a surrender, but an active participation in life. Instead of simply enduring, we should see our limitations as opportunities to practice and grow. Failure and disappointment, instead of being an end in themselves, become stepping stones to develop virtues such as patience, perseverance, and resilience. This is the key to changing the way we view failure, no longer as a stopping point, but as part of the journey to success. This ability to think is the key to breaking the cycle of mediocrity that has haunted generations. Failure is not something to be avoided, but an opportunity to learn and grow. The Stoic lesson also advises us not to overthink, as this often prevents us from taking action and reduces our happiness. By accepting our fate and focusing on working within our limits, we can find a balance between action and acceptance. This prevents us from being paralyzed by over-analysis and allows us to move forward with greater strength. Even if the future is unpredictable, applying Stoic principles to our daily lives will help us build resilience. Not only will it help us overcome personal challenges, but it will also free us from the barriers that have been placed by previous generations, paving the way for a future filled with achievement, happiness, and victory. Lesson 3. Harness the power of now. Escaping the cycle of mediocrity, frustration, and overthinking begins with embracing the present moment. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of living in the present, not to avoid difficulties, but to face them with clarity and focus. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "True happiness consists in enjoying the present without worrying about the future." This is a reminder to shift our attention from what is past or what is yet to come to what is now. By focusing on the present, we free our minds from unnecessary worries and regrets. This allows us to act more decisively and effectively. Living in the present does not mean being passive. On the contrary, it is an active engagement with life, carefully monitoring our thoughts, actions, and emotions. By living fully in each moment, we can break the cycle of mediocrity, facing daily decisions with courage and action. This also helps us find the balance between pursuing our goals and being satisfied with what we have achieved. While Stoicism encourages us to strive for excellence, it also teaches us not to tie our happiness to future success. Instead, find satisfaction in the process, in small daily steps. This approach helps reduce frustration when we don't reach our goals and prevents paralysis from overthinking. By living fully in the present, we can change our reality, develop resilience, and pave the way for long-term success. Lesson 4. Self-reflection and self-improvement. Stoicism encourages us to constantly reflect and improve ourselves as a way to escape mediocrity and overthinking. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, once said that we should reflect on our actions and thoughts every day. Self-reflection is a way to see our true nature, free from the chaos and confusion of the outside world. This self-reflection not only helps us identify our shortcomings and negative habits, but also provides an opportunity for self-improvement. It requires humility, honesty about our character and actions, and a willingness to admit when we fall short of our ideals. This process can be uncomfortable, but it is in that discomfort that we grow. As we look at ourselves and face the truth, we develop the virtues of wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. When we practice self-reflection, we stop overthinking and start acting in a positive way. This helps us make the best choices possible and learn from those outcomes, thereby improving the way we make decisions in the future. This cycle of action, reflection, and change helps us move toward our goals with clarity and purpose. By making self-reflection a regular part of our lives, we not only escape mediocrity, but we also begin a journey of personal growth and improvement, creating a legacy that extends beyond the limits of our past. Lesson 5. Discipline and self-control. Discipline and self-control are the Stoic virtues that help you overcome bad habits and achieve success. Epictetus said that the path to freedom is not to seek freedom, but to develop discipline and self-control. This may sound contradictory, but in fact, controlling your actions and desires is the first step to controlling your life. Discipline is not just about following rules, but about bringing yourself into a state of balance that is consistent with your values and goals. It is about choosing the right things, even if they are more difficult, and focusing on what really matters. Self-control is the skill of managing your emotions and desires, helping you progress rather than hindering you. This requires the inner strength to resist short-term temptation and persevere toward long-term goals. When we train ourselves to act promptly and purposefully, we have less room for doubt and hesitation. This approach promotes action thinking rather than overthinking, helping us make decisions from strength and clarity, not from anxiety or fear. These Stoic virtues not only help us escape the vicious cycle of mediocrity, but also show us what can be achieved when we have discipline and self-control. The power of adaptability, the secret to long-term success. The ability to adapt and embrace change is a solid foundation for a successful life that is not only sustainable, but also deeply meaningful. To escape the cycle of mediocrity, abandonment, and overthinking, one needs to master the Stoic virtue of adaptability. Stoic philosophy, with its profound understanding of the uncertainty of life, encourages us to embrace change as a means to develop resilience and progress. Seneca, a prominent figure in Stoic philosophy, once warned that being too attached to personal plans or expectations can lead to suffering and disappointment. Instead of sticking to what is predetermined, he advised us to keep a flexible mindset when facing life's challenges. When we are willing to change our plans and perspectives, we can overcome difficulties with grace and wisdom. In Stoic philosophy, adaptability does not mean passivity or lack of ambition. It is an active engagement in the present, a flexibility of thought that helps us distinguish between what is within our control and accept what cannot be changed. When we accept change, we free ourselves from the bondage of negative thoughts and disappointment when things do not go as expected. We become stronger when we are able to adjust course when necessary, finding new ways to move towards our goals and core values. This willingness helps us not only overcome mediocrity but also achieve success by adapting to the ups and downs of life. Furthermore, when we open our minds to change, we not only create a culture of creativity and innovation, but also encourage those around us to grow. Adaptability is not only a personal skill, but also an inspiration to others. When we master the art of facing life's ups and downs calmly and confidently, we become an example to those around us, helping them escape the cycle of failure and achieve sustainable success. Not only ourselves, but also society as a whole will become more flexible, stronger, and successful when everyone masters the power of adaptability. Why is it important to set boundaries and make lists? Setting clear boundaries and prioritizing effectively is key to overcoming the cycle of mediocrity, frustration, and overthinking. In Stoic philosophy, this emphasizes being in tune with nature and focusing on what really matters. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, advised that we focus our minds on what is within our control and spend our time and energy only on what is most meaningful. This approach requires us to carefully consider our commitments, focusing only on those that align with our core values and help us achieve our long-term goals. When we set limits on our time and energy, we avoid getting caught up in the unnecessary and unimportant and fall into the cycle of mediocrity. Prioritizing is not just about eliminating the unimportant, but also about carefully choosing where we want to focus our attention and energy. Living with purpose, pursuing what really matters, will help us achieve complete success. To do this, we need to know how to say no to certain opportunities and tasks, not because we are lazy or afraid, but because we understand that our resources are limited and need to be used wisely. Setting limits and creating to-do lists will help us live a meaningful life, overcome mediocrity, and achieve long-term success. Using failure as a stepping stone to success. Changing the way we perceive failure is a decisive factor in breaking free from mediocrity and achieving success. Stoicism teaches that failure is not an obstacle, but an indispensable part of success. Marcus Aurelius advised that we should learn from our mistakes, seeing them as opportunities to improve ourselves and our plans. Instead of fearing failure, we should see each stumble as an opportunity to learn and grow. When we accept that failure is a necessary and valuable part of the path to excellence, we free ourselves from the burden of overthinking and the fear of making mistakes. This shift in perspective is the key to breaking free from the cycle of mediocrity and frustration. Facing failure not only helps us develop resilience, but also builds a stronger mentality, ready to face any challenge. Stoicism encourages us to prepare ourselves for the worst that may happen, not to wallow in it, but to figure out how to overcome it with determination and calm. When we see failure as a stepping stone to success, we transform our journey from a series of challenges to a process of continuous learning and self-improvement. In this way, we not only achieve great success, but also create a life of meaning and satisfaction. Applying the principle of self-mastery, the key to success. The Stoic principle of self-mastery is the key to overcoming the cycle of mediocrity, frustration, and overthinking. Stoicism teaches that to be truly free and powerful, we must rely on ourselves to achieve happiness and satisfaction, rather than seeking it from external approval or success. Seneca and Epictetus, famous Stoic philosophers, advised us to build a strong inner self, a fortress of peace from which we can draw strength and inspiration. When we practice self-mastery, we equip ourselves with the tools we need to face the ups and downs of life with equanimity, ensuring that our happiness and success are not dependent on the changes in the outside world. This shift in thinking is essential to breaking free from mediocrity. It moves us from seeking external rewards to living a life of clear motivation and purpose, helping us overcome overthinking and indecision. When we know that happiness and success are within our own control, decision-making becomes easier and less influenced by the expectations of others. Self-control not only helps us define success on our own terms, but also gives us the resilience to face failure. By practicing self-control, we can build a life that goes beyond the confines of mediocrity and create a lasting legacy of success. How to overcome overanalysis with mindful action. Stoicism offers the concept of mindful action as a way to break free from the cycle of mediocrity, frustration, and overthinking. This principle emphasizes the importance of making decisions and performing tasks with clear awareness and purpose, rather than being overwhelmed by worries about the past or future. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, said that we should do everything with a clear mind and a strong focus to ensure that our energy is directed towards meaningful goals. Mindful action helps us overcome the paralysis caused by overthinking, freeing us from procrastination and indecision. When we make being present in the moment a habit, we not only become more productive, but we also get more joy out of our daily tasks. This approach helps us become more engaged with our tasks and feel a deeper sense of accomplishment. Practicing mindful action helps us feel more confident in facing challenges and turning each failure into an opportunity for growth. When we do this, we not only escape the cycle of mediocrity, but we also start on a path to success marked by integrity, meaning, and a deep sense of accomplishment. We don't need to be problem-free. Instead, what matters is the inner strength, resilience, and wisdom to face each challenge. By practicing the Stoic virtues of mindful action, adaptability, self-reflection, and living in alignment with our true values, we can redefine success on our own terms and turn our goals into real achievements. Ancient Stoicism offers a different way of living in today's world, where sharing everything about our personal lives has become commonplace. Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius and Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Seneca have left us timeless lessons. They teach us the importance of keeping certain aspects of our lives private. These lessons show us how to face life experiences with respect and equanimity, understanding that not everything needs to be made public. Together, we will explore 7 aspects of life that Stoicism recommends keeping private in order to live a virtuous, resilient, and peaceful life. 1. Your inner citadel. Marcus Aurelius introduced the concept of the inner citadel, a refuge within the mind where we can find safety and strength, regardless of the turmoil in the world around us. This is the private space where our deepest reflections and personal victories take place. In this citadel, we meet ourselves, where no one can invade. This inner dialogue is essential to self-improvement and finding our place in the universe. It is a continuous process of improvement and reflection, where we face our fears and develop virtues such as wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. This journey of self-reflection does not have to be public. When we talk about inner change, it can be deeply meaningful and take us off the path to true self-discovery. The inner fortress is also where we find peace and clarity, away from the distractions of the outside world. By keeping this fortress a secret, we protect its power as a source of energy and resilience. 2. Your problems and challenges. Hardships are deeply personal and transformative experiences. They shape us in ways that only we understand. The Stoics believed that keeping our challenges private was not a way to hide, but rather a way to reflect and grow. During difficult times, we develop virtues such as patience, discipline, and resilience. We don't need to share every detail of our personal struggles with others, as this can lead to seeking sympathy or acceptance from outside sources. The Stoics advise that we think through our problems, use them to grow, and develop inner strength. Keeping our struggles to ourselves helps us maintain self-esteem and control our own narrative. This doesn't mean we never ask for help, but rather keep the specifics to ourselves so we can deal with them calmly and with determination. 3. Thoughts and feelings about politics. Stoicism emphasizes reason, self-control, and the search for inner peace. When it comes to political views, this becomes more complicated. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus engaged in political activism, but they also emphasized the importance of focusing on what is controllable. Politics can be divisive, and sharing political views can take away from your inner peace. Therefore, it is best to keep your political views to yourself and focus on personal growth and core values. This doesn't mean you don't care about politics, but rather that you prioritize peace and intellectual growth over engaging in potentially divisive debates. Keeping your political views to yourself also makes it easier for you to interact openly with others, building a community based on mutual respect and understanding. 4. Your plans and goals. Stoic philosophy suggests that our plans and goals should be kept private. This helps us focus on our actions rather than our words, and preserves our inner peace as we pursue them. By keeping our ambitions private, we can focus and maintain our determination without being distracted by outside opinions or expectations. Stoics believe that our thoughts and actions are the only things we can truly control. When we make our goals public too early, we open ourselves up to negative feedback or opinions that can weaken our resolve. So keeping these goals private until we are ready helps us maintain our resolve and focus on what really matters. By applying these principles to our lives, we can build inner strength, resilience, and peace of mind, essential elements for overcoming life's challenges. What do you think of these aspects of Stoicism? What lessons can we learn from this philosophy that we can apply to our daily lives? In Stoic philosophy, focusing on the present and what we can change is at the heart of peace and wisdom. When we worry too much about the future or worry too much about what others think, we blur our true purpose. For Stoics, the journey toward a goal is not only as important as, but can even surpass, the goal itself. This demonstrates wisdom, discipline, and perseverance, three of the Stoic virtues. By keeping our goals to ourselves, we protect ourselves from unnecessary social influences and ensure that what we do comes from our true selves. Stoics value humility and recognize that true power does not need to be flaunted. When we work in silence, we allow ourselves to reflect more deeply on what we are doing. Mistakes become opportunities to learn without worrying about what others think. This is the path to lasting success, where personal growth and satisfaction are measured by inner values rather than external recognition. Living in the privacy of our ambitions is not only a sign of humility, but also a way to achieve true fulfillment. Stoic philosophy reminds us that it is the challenging journey and the virtues that develop along the way that are truly worthwhile. Keeping our plans and goals hidden from the eyes of others helps us focus on what is truly important, our personal growth and finding joy in the work we do. Moments of vulnerability are an integral part of growth and self-realization. Rather than sharing these feelings with others, Stoics choose to face them in silence, using them as opportunities for self-reflection and growth. Keeping these thoughts private allows us to process them more deeply, free from the judgment of others, and thereby find the strength to overcome our fears and doubts. In Stoic philosophy, self-mastery is one of the ultimate principles. We are encouraged to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, feelings, and actions. This allows us to overcome our weaknesses without seeking sympathy or approval from others. This journey, while sometimes lonely, is the path to growth and self-knowledge. Similarly, when it comes to financial challenges, Stoic philosophy teaches that true wealth lies not in the amount of money we have, but in the character and virtues we cultivate. Keeping our financial situation private helps us avoid meaningless comparisons and focus on what really matters. Happiness lies not in material things, but in the quality of our relationships and personal growth. Finally, negative emotions like resentment and anger can be controlled if we choose not to let them control us. Stoics emphasize keeping these thoughts to ourselves, working through them through reflection, and finding ways to forgive. By doing so, we not only preserve our peace of mind, but also develop patience, forgiveness, and emotional intelligence, the core qualities of a true Stoic. Let us use our wisdom. From Stoic philosophy, we have learned how to make our daily lives better when we choose to protect the dark corners of our souls, the places where our hopes, our vulnerabilities, and our personal boundaries reside. We find strength and serenity in a world filled with noise and endless demands for attention. The power of privacy lies not in hiding our true selves, but in respecting the sacred spaces within, where wisdom and resilience are nurtured. Let these principles be the foundation for a peaceful garden within your soul, where virtue is cultivated and quiet reigns amid the noise of life. Imagine that the most important thing for living a meaningful life is not something that can be bought or received from others. It has always been inside you, just waiting to be discovered and tapped. This isn't just a passing thought. Try it out. Stoic philosophy, which has guided millions of people to find meaning and peace for centuries, teaches that the key to a good life lies not in praise or material things, but in appreciating and cultivating the virtues of temperance, courage, wisdom, and justice. This reminds us that despite the chaos on the outside, we can find stability and happiness on the inside. Within each of us are the timeless values of Stoic philosophy, waiting to be unlocked to transform the way we see life and ourselves. This journey is not simply about self-improvement, but also about rediscovering our true worth and living in accordance with our deepest principles. Don't settle for less than you deserve. This isn't arrogance, but a clear understanding of your own worth. Stoicism reminds us that our true worth lies not in what we own, but in how we approach life, with courage, wisdom, and honesty. Remember, you are not your job title, your connections, or the amount of money in your bank account. Your worth lies in your ability to live by your values and act with courage and wisdom, no matter what the circumstances. This is the path Stoic philosophy guides us on, and when we follow this path, we not only survive, but truly thrive. Acknowledge your accomplishments not just to feel good about them, but also to honor the values that helped you achieve them. Take a moment to reflect on the virtues that brought you here. This isn't about puffing yourself up, but about recognizing that your success is a result of your hard work and the good values you've cultivated. Finally, don't forget to take care of yourself. In order to best serve others, you need to make sure you're in the best shape possible, both physically and mentally. Stoicism reminds us that self-care isn't selfish, but necessary, so that you can be a source of strength and stability for those around you. When we compare our innermost selves to the beautiful moments others share on social media, it can erode our sense of self-worth. Stoicism teaches us to first practice mindfulness and remind ourselves that what we see online is just a carefully curated collection of images, not a true reflection of life. Remember, it is most important to focus on what we can control, such as our actions, thoughts, and good qualities. These are the seeds to nurture and grow on our unique journey. When we focus on nurturing these seeds, we will grow a meaningful garden, one that does not need approval or comparison from others. At the same time, gratitude is also a core element of Stoic philosophy. By practicing gratitude for our own experiences, challenges, and successes, we can live in the present and enjoy life to the fullest. This does not mean we become lazy or passive. On the contrary, it empowers us to seek growth and improvement from a place of gratitude, not lack. Sometimes we forget to do the things we really want to do, like take a class, start a new hobby, or even take care of ourselves. Many of us have fallen into this trap, not because of lack of time or money, but because we don't truly value ourselves. We may tell ourselves that we are not worth caring about, but Stoicism offers us a profound insight into human worth and what is right. It challenges us to see self-improvement not as a duty, but as a way of showing respect for ourselves. Stoicism emphasizes that our ability to reason and strive to become better is what makes us special, and that only by doing these things can we find true happiness. So how can we start investing in ourselves? It starts with changing our thinking, in line with Stoic philosophy. We need to start seeing self-improvement as an integral part of our lives, non-negotiable. This doesn't mean making big changes all at once, but rather investing in ourselves through small actions over time. Reading a book, meditating for a few minutes a day, or taking up a new hobby. These are simple ways to take care of yourself and grow. The importance of self-reflection and self-examination is another lesson that Stoicism emphasizes. This helps us recognize our strengths and weaknesses, which in turn guides our personal investment efforts. It gives us a clear sense of purpose and direction. Regularly reviewing our lives, setting goals, and reflecting on our progress are important to aligning our actions with our values, developing virtues, and living a meaningful life. Lifelong learning is also an important part of Stoic philosophy. Wisdom is not a destination, but a journey. Having an open mind and being willing to try new things is a way to nourish the mind. Investing in yourself is not a burden, but an adventure, an opportunity to explore the world and yourself through knowledge and experience. Living in accordance with your values and principles is the only way to truly feel fulfilled. Stoicism teaches that our actions, intentions, and reactions are the only things we can truly change. Marcus Aurelius once said that what bothers us is not the opinions of others, but how we think about those opinions. Why do we often seek approval from others? It is because we feel insecure and afraid that we are not good enough. In a world that is constantly telling us what to do or have, it is easy to lose our way. Stoicism, on the other hand, encourages us to turn our attention inward, to work on improving ourselves, and to live a good life. True happiness and peace come not from the approval of others, but from being true to ourselves. Self-awareness is the first step to letting go of the need to seek external approval. Once we become aware of this tendency, we can begin to ask ourselves why we do what we do. Are we pursuing goals because they align with our values, or just because we want praise? Stoicism teaches us to regularly reflect on our intentions to ensure that they are in alignment with ourselves and our values. Developing self-control is another Stoic practice that helps us fight the need to seek approval from others. This does not mean isolating ourselves or not caring about others, but rather being content with ourselves and realizing that we are already complete as we are. Epicurus says that we should focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot control. When we seek happiness from within, we become less dependent on external approval. Stoicism also changes the way we view success. Instead of measuring success by awards or praise, we should measure it by living true to our values, pursuing virtue, applying reason, and developing resilience to life's challenges. True success is not about what others think of us, but about how we face ourselves and live our lives in accordance with what we believe. Fears and self-doubt often hold us back from our dreams. Stoicism helps us see that we are valuable and that we can control our actions and thoughts to overcome these fears. By questioning limiting beliefs, we can change our circumstances or the way we see them. Stoicism gives us tools to build inner resilience and self-control. Marcus Aurelius encourages us to fortify our inner fortress so that we can stay strong and true to our values even when everything around us becomes chaotic. We often seek happiness and approval from others, but true freedom does not come from external approval. It comes from recognizing and accepting our own worth. Stoicism reminds us that instead of focusing on pleasing others, we should focus on developing our own character. Our worth is not based on the titles, money, or admiration we receive. Instead, it is shaped by our commitment to living a life of honesty, kindness, and courage despite the challenges. Success and external approval may bring joy, but they are not the determinants of our true worth. Our worth is built from within, like the stars in the night sky, forever unchanging. When we realize this, we can escape the trap of constantly seeking approval from others. So how do we develop this sense of peace and confidence? It starts with self-reflection and discovering our own strengths. It's about recognizing that our skills, character, and potential are our true measure of worth. Gratitude also plays a big part in developing this sense. Learning to separate our self-worth from the opinions of others is an important part of this journey. It doesn't mean we're apathetic. It just means we can put things in perspective and focus on what really matters in life. Often, Insecurities and comparisons stem from past experiences, societal norms, or personal failures. We compare our journey to what others are showing us, and this makes us doubt our worth. But Stoicism tells us to let go of this false thinking and realize that happiness is not a reward for those who deserve it, but a way of life. We can start changing the story we tell ourselves. Don't let other people's approval or achievements determine your happiness. Remember that true happiness comes from being true to yourself, making good decisions, and enjoying the present moment. Gratitude is an essential element in this. When we focus on what we have instead of what we lack, we shift our focus from feeling deprived to feeling abundant in our lives. This is an important step in realizing that we are worthy of happiness and peace. Happiness is not a journey we walk alone. Building meaningful and supportive relationships helps us realize that our worth comes not only from ourselves, but also from the love and wisdom of those around us. Take the time to look within and discover your true worth. Stoicism not only helps us realize our inner strength, but also shows us the way to live a full life, free from the judgment of others. This is where our true selves are formed and refined. The praise from others, no matter how enchanting, is just a fleeting echo that fades away with time. Instead of seeking validation from the outside, let us turn our attention inward, where we can light our path with the light of unwavering confidence, regardless of the winds of external judgment. Marcus Aurelius, with his profound wisdom, reminds us that time is our most precious asset, not to be wasted in the pursuit of fleeting accolades. When we realize the true value of each moment, we will stop pouring our energy into seeking external validation. Instead, we invest in the treasure of self-acceptance, building resilience that transcends every fleeting compliment. When we embrace the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, the darkness of weakness will dissipate, and the light of self-acceptance will illuminate the path ahead. In the quiet space of the soul, we find true strength, unaffected by what others think. Let us listen to this call and turn our attention inward, for only then can we discover the infinite power of the human spirit. Fourth, when we get lost in the complex maze of insatiable desires, we embark on a dangerous journey. The alluring calls of temporary satisfaction can lead us into darkness, where the light of reason seems to be obscured. Epicurus, the ancient Stoic philosopher, warned that we suffer not because of events, but because of how we judge them. Desire, with its seductive allure, can turn into a dangerous trap for the unwary. But the Stoics understood that true power lies in controlling one's own desires, not in suppressing them, but in directing them with purpose. It is a call to distinguish between short-term pleasures and long-term goals that are in line with our true selves. When we embrace this wisdom, the maze of desires becomes a journey of self-discovery, where the true self can escape the shackles of uncontrolled desires. This is not renunciation, but a journey to true freedom, where we find peace in our own self-mastery. The Stoic wisdom does not stop there. Heraclitus, another sage, pointed out that change is the only constant in the universe. The Stoics realized that resisting change is resisting the very nature of things. Instead of resisting, we should accept and align ourselves with the flow of life, like a skilled dancer moving with the rhythm of the universe. We find serenity not in false stability, but in the constant flow of transformation. In this journey, the Stoics are not bound by temporary changes, but are driven by growth and self-discovery. When we accept that everything in life is fleeting, we find the strength to move forward, overcoming life's challenges with serenity. Ultimately, the present moment is where all the potential for joy and fulfillment lies. The Stoic philosopher Seneca encouraged us to live in the present, to enjoy each moment, and not to get stuck in the past or worry about the future. The present moment is a symphony of emotions and possibilities, where life truly happens. Let go of worries about the future, immerse yourself in the present, and find the serenity that only mindfulness can bring. By living fully in each moment, we not only find happiness, but also discover the deeper meaning of life. Seneca reminds us that true happiness comes not from promises about the future or regrets about the past, but from an active and mindful engagement in the present. It is a way of living that transcends all limits of time, where each moment is appreciated and enjoyed with deep awareness. In life, we often face a tapestry of happiness and sadness, a complex symphony of emotions and events. But the Stoic warrior does not try to change the outer thread. Instead, they learn to regulate their responses because, as Epicurus said, we cannot control what happens, but we can control how we react to it. This is the foundation of resilience, a manifestation of inner strength. Building a castle on quicksand, the equivalent of clinging to the illusion of peace from the outside, is a futile endeavor. The world is constantly changing, and the Stoics understood that true peace comes not from external stability, but from an inner fortress where the storms of the outside world cannot penetrate. They do not deny the existence of challenges, but face them head-on, knowing that true strength lies in the calm and steadfastness of the soul. When we face adversity, how we respond determines our fate. The Stoic warrior is not a victim of circumstances, but a creator of his own path through a disciplined process of self-reflection. This is not merely an act, but an art of training the mind to distinguish between the temporary chaos of the world and the eternal stillness within. Epicurus reminds us that it is not the control of external storms that brings mastery, but the passage through them with a calm and serene mind. This is a sacred journey, a journey into the crucible of the soul, where the fire of experience shapes our core. Marcus Aurelius, with his Stoic wisdom, reminds us that a happy life requires not so much external things as the control of our own thoughts. The inner fortress, which is born from the crucible of trials, is not built of bricks and mortar, but of our own thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes. Marcus Aurelius says that to fortify this fortress, we must understand our inner strength, a strength that is not influenced by external circumstances, but is built from the control of our thoughts and emotions. That is where we find true happiness, not from what happens around us, but from how we choose to understand and respond to life. But how do we defend this fortress? Marcus Aurelius taught that true strength lies not in resisting the outside world, but in vigorously defending this inner fortress. We must always guard this refuge, because within its walls we find the key to a happy and fulfilled life. In the vast cosmic theater, where each of us plays a small role, Epicurus reminded us that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we listen more than we speak. This is not only a call to humility, but also a reminder to be one with the cosmic symphony. When we let go of the need to control everything, we open ourselves to the lessons the universe has to offer and find balance within that very acceptance. We become skilled dancers, moving with the rhythm of life, not as a sign of resignation, but as a sign of a deep understanding that the greatest strength lies in accepting what we cannot change. Seneca, in his Stoic wisdom, reminded us that the one who suffers more than necessary is the one who suffers before it is necessary. This is not only a reminder of the futility of worry, but also a call to action. Action to accept the truth that we can only control our reactions, not our circumstances. As we embark on this journey of self-discovery, this sacred journey, we find strength not only from ourselves, but from the community of like-minded people who are also walking this Stoic path. This journey, with all its trials and tribulations, is where we build resilience, learn from those who have gone before us, and find strength in Stoic wisdom. When we accept that suffering can be transformed into strength, we find a beacon of light in the darkness of life. It is the light of Stoic wisdom that guides us through all challenges, helping us build a life filled with peace, resilience, and fulfillment. Always remember that the journey does not end here. It has only just begun. Let us continue to practice what we have learned and find peace in every step we take.